Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bluford's Tax Preparation, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, Casa Samtonieta Indialapa, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, John Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Montzon Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners.
I forgot to set up a screen. Would you guys do me a favor? After the weather, would you remind me to tell you something about vagabundas? I went back last night and I would like to give you some advice on how to navigate vagabundas this time of the year. This is just in case I forget it. But because I just said it, I'm probably not going to forget. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get-together live here on Facebook and live here on YouTube. It is a pleasure to see you. It is Tuesday, August 26th, and there's all kinds of news to share. We have a new Spanish word of the week. We have vagabundas. Paco, remember vagabundas. And, of course, there's always what you bring to the table, your questions, your ideas, your comments and suggestions. Everything is good. Let me push the button and get started with the news, just so that we can flow through this broadcast. As we recently announced, Camarones Beach in Puerto Vallarta has just received the blue flag certification. In addition to Camarones Beach, the beaches in front of the Sheraton, the Westin, and Marriott hotels also were able to renew their blue flag certification. The certification is valid for 1 year, and it is an important achievement for Puerto Vallarta as it attracts more tourism and represents safety for visitors. Why am I showing you a photograph of the politicians and not of the actual beach, you may ask? Well, that's the mentality of local news photographers, unfortunately. Next time I find myself in Camarones Beach, I'll gladly take some photographs for you to take a look at. In other news, the Jalisco government, through the Puerto Vallarta Tourism Trust, will allocate an investment of over 18 million pesos to rehabilitate the Mirador de La Cruz, one of the city's most visited natural attractions. Natural attractions. Well, it's a construction, so I don't know what to tell you. This was announced by Mayor Munguía, who emphasized that this project is part of a tourism strengthening strategy and will be the basis for future projects such as the planned cable car connecting to this iconic site. Yes, the mayor is still thinking or studying the possibility of building some kind of funicular or cable car that'll go from somewhere down in the Malecón all the way up to the Mirador on top of El Cerro. We'll see what happens with that one. The Puerto Vallarta City Council announced it will donate land to the University of Guadalajara's Centro Universitario de la Costa, or CUC, the local university campus, for the construction of more classrooms and academic spaces. With the goal of expanding enrollment and meeting student demand, the initiative will be presented at the next City Council meeting, which is scheduled for tomorrow. And I read somewhere that tomorrow the City Council will vote on the idea of putting the parking meters in the city. So it'll be interesting to see what the headlines tell us tomorrow. Now, this next headline makes me so freaking giddy. I hope you're excited about this as well. I recently told you that the powers that be were investing the possibility of bringing the Islas Marias ferry to Puerto Vallarta so that you could go to the Islas Marias from Puerto Vallarta and not from Mazatlan or San Blas, which are points located north. Well, guess what? The National Port System Administration, the authorities that run the maritime terminal here in Puerto Vallarta, have announced an invitation for locals and visitors to take a close look at the ferries that travel to one of Mexico's emerging tourist destinations, which is the Islas Marias. That means the ferries are actually, or at least one of the ferries, is here in town. And we can go to the maritime terminal and check out the ferry and talk to the people that run it and find out what it takes to go and stay at the Islas Marias. The invitation states that it is completely free and open to all ages with no limit on the number of attendees, so you can attend with family or friends. The tours will take place on Wednesday, that is tomorrow, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. I will definitely make it a point to go to this one. I will bring my video camera if they allow me, and I will do a walking tour of the ferry and get all the answers that we want. If anybody wants to join me, just let me know. I still don't know exactly when I'm going to go, but I think if this is one of those deals in which they are looking to socialize the project, the more we go, the more we show interest, the more likely it is that this will be formalized here in Puerto Vallarta, or at least that is my hope. So I'm excited about this one. I'll let you know how it goes. I do know that I have spotlight interviews tomorrow. So it might be a little dicey depending on the weather. I might be able to go after my spotlight interviews. If not, I can go on Thursday after our broadcast without a problem. Yay, I'm super excited about this one. And one more before we break. During her morning press conference, President Claudia Sheinbaum announced the creation of a master plan for the coast of Nayarit, with the goal of ensuring orderly and sustainable development in the region. And according to the president, the plan seeks to establish territorial planning that ensures the protection of ecosystems such as mangroves, while also defining the areas where tourism developments will be possible. This, of course, is not going to stop, apparently, the new development that was just authorized by someone or somehow near Punta de Mita, but we're not going to go there because we don't have all the information. And before we break for the weather, let me throw the Spanish word of the week at you so that you can be thinking about questions you may have about the Spanish word of the week. And then we'll take a look at the weather. Now, where did I put the video for the Spanish word of the week? You would think that I would be better organized. Oh my goodness. Where did it go? I think. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Where is it? Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Oh, darn it. Oh, darn it. Let me go to the weather so that we are. Hold on. Let me go to the weather. Ah! Hold on, hold on, hold on. Weather. Oh, here's the Spanish. Never mind. I found it. Here it goes. Today's word of the week is ánimo, a tiny word with huge power. You'll hear it everywhere in Mexico, at the market, on the street, among friends. Someone's down? Ánimo. Facing a challenge? Ánimo. You can do it. It's encouragement. It's solidarity. It's you got this in one word. Now, don't confuse it with estado de ánimo, which means mood or state of mind. But that's not what we're talking about here. Here, ánimo is action. It's a verbal push forward, sometimes playful, ánimo, and sometimes tender, ánimo, you'll be okay. Think of it as a one-word hug, compact, powerful, very Mexican. And here's a tip. When a street vendor offers you something, instead of just saying no gracias, say no gracias, ánimo. It's kinder, it's more human. It says, not today, but keep going, my friend. So next time someone needs a little boost, you already know what to say. Ánimo. If you like. Yes, ánimo. It's a great word. I think it was suggested by my friend Claude. And I wrote it down, and that is what it is. And if you have any questions about ánimo, just add a capital letter Q to your question, and I will show you how to use it. Now let's take a quick look at the weather. Speaking of ánimo, that cloud, oh, nasty. That cloud looks like the personal massager that your mother keeps hidden in her nightstand. That is nasty. Oh, 29 degrees right now. Humidity is at 70%. My mother never had any one of those things. Humidity is at 70%, but my father did have books in his nightstand. Why am I telling you this? Let's focus on the weather forecast. You don't want to hear about my father. Uh, Today, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. A chance of rain of 60%, a high of 33, a low of 22. Tomorrow, Wednesday, partly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. A high of 32 and a low of 22. A chance of rain of 57%. And then on Thursday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. A chance of rain of 70%. A high of 32 and a low of 22. My goodness. What else do we have? Oh, yes, there is more. Where do you think? Oh, my goodness. I'm going to love your comments. Where do you think Mayor Munguía is planning to park a Ferris wheel in Puerto Vallarta? Think about that for a second, and I will tell you the other bit of news that I have while I read your comments. Banco de Mexico has issued 3 series of silver coins, the Troy, the Libertad, and the new Libertad series. The latter was launched in 2000, actually, and it stands out for its purity. It's 0.999 silver. There's a variety of sizes, an attractive design, making this coin an attractive option for both investors and collectors. The value of these coins is determined by the international price of precious metals and the peso dollar exchange rate. For example, at the close of trading on August 21st, the price of an ounce of silver was between 787 and 795 pesos, according to official data. These coins can be purchased at special coin collecting sites, e-commerce platforms, and through authorized Banco de Mexico distributors. Why would you get one of these? Well, maybe you want a silversmith to create something for you, and this is the easiest way to get pure silver, melting the coins, or maybe you want to gift someone a coin as a way of savings, as a way of investment, but just know that these are available and they are beautiful. Now, let me quickly look at your comments to see if anybody bit at the location of the Ferris wheel. I don't see anybody biting, but that's okay. Let me share the news. The news is that the Ferris wheel is going to go somewhere next to Parque Lázaro Cárdenas, or maybe somewhere between Parque Lázaro Cárdenas and the pedestrian bridge that crosses the Rio Cuale. How that is going to happen is a mystery to me, but everything seems to indicate that Puerto Vallarta will soon have a Ferris wheel. What do you think of that? Let me know, and we'll take a look at your comments after this.
Every September, Mexico comes alive with the sounds of independence, and this year, you're invited to experience it like never before. On Thursday, September 11th at 5 p.m. at The Joint, music storyteller Paco Ojeda returns with his sold-out favorite, Viva Mexico. This is not just a history talk, it's a journey through songs, stories, and traditions that define who we are. From the cry of Viva Mexico to the powerful notes of Huapango, from Cielito Lindo to mariachi, cuisine, crafts, and even the proper way to honor our national flag. It's the ideal way for English-speaking locals and visitors to deepen their understanding of our culture, especially during Mexico's most patriotic celebration. We'll uncover the events that lit the spark of independence, the voices that carried it forward, and the music that keeps it alive today. It's entertaining, it's enlightening, and it always sells out. So if you love Mexico, its history, its music, its soul, this is one evening you don't want to miss. Viva Mexico, Thursday, September 11th, 5 o'clock at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work. Tickets are 300 pesos per person, available at the hotel's reception desk. Purchase yours before they sell out.
Okay, so let's take a quick look at your comments to see what you have. Ooh, good mornings, good mornings, good mornings. I love that. I love that. Da, 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 da. Susan is watching live on YouTube. Thank you, Susan. So much fun when I get to watch live, says Susan. It is always fun to see you and everybody else. Let's see. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. There's a cue. Could one use it this way? We want doctors to say ánimo after blood tests. Yes. Yes, ánimo, when you go see a doctor might say ánimo to imply have faith. It's going to be okay, or to give you some kind of a reassurance. That's how a doctor might use it. Let's see. Claire says, I wish there was a ferry system from La Cruz to Puerto Vallarta. That's the northern towns. That the northern towns could access. It would keep traffic off the highways and make travel in town enjoyable and boost business in PV. I totally agree with you, Claire. We talked about this yesterday when we mentioned that Acapulco Bay now has such public transportation. It costs 30 pesos to ride it. Now, I mentioned it because I thought it was interesting, and also because I speculated this could happen in Puerto Vallarta. Of course, I don't know how. I don't know who would make this happen. In the case of Acapulco, it was the Ministry of the Marine. And here in Puerto Vallarta, it has been a campaign promise of Mayor Munguía. So maybe we'll see it, maybe not. Hello, Stan. I look forward to seeing you in a little while. Snarky weather just made my day. Well, it was snarky, wasn't it? It really was. Let's see. Oh, calcomanía is a great Spanish word. I will add it to my list. It is a mouthful, but it is a fun word. Thank you very much for that suggestion. Oh, ouch. Ouch, Robert. What happened to your coffee this morning? Or what happened to you this morning? Ferry to Islas Marias? Yes. That would be what? A 10 to 12 hour trip in high seas? No. To reach a pueblo descuidado? No. It makes no sense. Well, what makes no sense to me is your comment, Robert. I'm afraid you might be somewhat misinformed about the whole thing. I don't know what you mean by pueblo descuidado. Maybe you have been to Islas Marias and you thought of it as a pueblo descuidado. If that is the case, please let us know. What is it that you disliked about Islas Marias? A 10 to 12 hour trip in high seas? No, it's not that long. I believe it's 4 to 6 hours, or maybe even less, from San Blas. It couldn't be that much longer from Puerto Vallarta. And of course, The idea is not to reach and come back. The idea is to go and stay there. So maybe you need to get better informed about this. Although I am curious about your comment of saying that it was a pueblo descuidado, which translates to a small town that is not well kept. It verges on offensive. I know that you don't mean to offend anyone, but boy, that really surprised me. What can I say? Boom, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Ferris wheel on the Malecon. Well, on the Malecon extension, apparently. A Ferris wheel sounds great. Well, yes and no. We know that the government loves to introduce all these projects and improvements, but then when administrations come and go, the programs to upkeep these things don't get followed through. Case in point, the lighting of the Malecon, the cable car that takes you from El Cerro to the Mirador up in La Cruz. All these things, as I understand it, are constantly being broken and or stop working properly. So let us hope that if they do put a Ferris wheel, they will actually develop an infrastructure program that will keep it working for many years after the fact. Uh, let's see what else. Join the club, Mary. I can't imagine where along that stretch of the Malecon he could put a Ferris wheel. I would think he would have to invade a little bit of the beach because it's rather narrow. But hey, they say that the studies claim that that is the most feasible location. I am on waiting see and mode as far as that is concerned. Uh, did I see that they were filming Godzilla versus King Kong in Mexico City? Just thought that was cool. That sounds cool, but I haven't seen the news item about that. And Pam, I'm looking forward to seeing you later on today for coffee. But I love your comment. We're gonna have a Tuki ferry. Yes, to add to all the other Tuki chingaderas that the current government is putting together. And just before you go, let me do everyone a small favor, if I may. Going back to this lovely comment from Robert, let me very quickly go online, and I'm going to find the website for Islas Marias. I think it's islasmarias.com. No, it's not. Let's see, Islas Marias. Da 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 da. Okay, Robert, my friend, it's visita islasmarias.com. I will gladly add that to the show notes today, and so that you can find out more about the project. And if after that you want to come back and let us know that it is a pueblo descuidado, again, I am just itching to hear about your experiences at Islas Marias so that we can all understand this colorful comment that you've shared with us. And that, my friends, is the end of today's broadcast. Thank you very much for your comments, your ideas, your suggestions, for spreading the word. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for more coffee, more headlines, and more stories. Have a good one.